being white, you know, he had a lot of guts and convictions that he wanted to do business with the taxi industry. Hence, and sometimes this relationship was not good because he would be chased out of meetings. You know, "Lomlongo funani, this is white man looking for here," you know. But Siyazi, instead of him moving, he will just go and stand outside until such time that he's called, you know, because we will chase him, but we will need him, and we will call him back.
I think it's very interesting to know where this whole systems started, because now today some of us were grateful because of the establishment of SANTACO and also as part of Siyazi. Now I think there is a saying, they said if you've worked hard, before you can say I want to rest, there are few things that you will miss from the office, from colleagues, from the pressure itself, and other things. I would want us to go through that before we can close our meeting, to say, obviously, the life now after the SANTACO office as a president, now you're looking at some other things now, as to say, now I've now dropping the office, this is what I want to do from now on moving forward. Are you now completely moving away from the industry?
Number one, I'm not moving from the industry. I'm a taxi operator, because one of the qualifying factors or the qualifying methods of being a taxi operator is that you must be a legal taxi operator with legal documents. And I see one of your questions is going to illegal operations. Now, I must indicate that I wish that it can be born from South Africans and from government to say that I've never heard about an illegal criminal. I've never heard about an illegal criminal. I've heard about criminal. You understand? And when it comes to taxi operations, you hear about an illegal taxi operator. Now you want to ask yourself, if government was to recognize that there is illegal operations and that those people are not committing crime, why should the other one be called criminal and the other one be called illegal criminal? You understand? Because illegal operator is an illegal person. He doesn't have a right to operate, and why should you continue calling him illegal instead of calling him by the name that he should be called? He's a criminal because he is using an operation that is not being registered for. I think that's one of the things. But life after being president of SANTACO, I think it's been full-time in this industry since around 1998 with SANTACO and with the Free State Province. So I've been married to this industry almost my life. And I was at some stage leaving this industry. You know, if there's a person I would want to thank, it's my wife. Because my wife could only see me over weekends for almost 24 years. During SANTACO and during the 20 years I spent with SANTACO, my wife could only see me over weekends. And that's the person I want to thank for having made it possible for me to be able to sort of contribute towards the taxi operation in South Africa. It's going to be very difficult to adjust to a new life. But I believe that if, and as I've indicated, that I was a boilermaker welder by trade. And if you're not going to transfer those skills to younger people, you might die with those skills. So I believe that with time, one has been trying to transfer the skills into younger people. That's why the president of SANTACO now, he is a very, very young man. I think he's in his 50s. So he's very young and he can move the industry forward. So yes, what I've created so that I remain focused and I remain, within the taxi industry family, because you cannot leave the taxi industry. That's why a person like Siyazi is more involved with the taxi industry than with any other thing, So I would want to continue assisting the taxi industry either as a consulting agency or just an ordinary advisory machine for SANTACO, if they so wish. But it is my conviction that you cannot try to play a shadow president, and hence I would want the president of SANTACO to be respected and to be given an opportunity and space as the president of SANTACO without any interference. I am prepared to share advices as and when he wishes, but I don't want to be his shadow. Any position which I'm occupying presently in any structure, I am still serving in some boards of the taxi industry businesses, and I'm going to serve on a minimal basis until the president tells me that, listen, I think that we have got what we wanted from you. Now it's time for you to completely go and rest. But from the politics of the industry, I think I've taken a rest. I'm not going to involve myself in the politics of the industry because there are new politicians which are dealing with that particular subject. Life is going to be very difficult outside SANTACO because it was my home. I left SANTACO on a daily basis. I remember there was times And I think as you grow up, you even grow up in your, dreams of sleeping. Now, I remember my wife used to say that, hey, this SANTACO of yours doesn't give you a rest. Even when you dream at night and you speak, it would be like you are in a live meeting of SANTACO. You would be talking and you would be defending SANTACO at all costs. So I think that's who I am. That when we established SANTACO, I put my whole mind, my whole body, and everything in me in ensuring that this black industry that is 100% owned by black people is not going to fail, particularly under a democratic government. And I would like to thank government, really the role government played in ensuring that SANTACO is established, and in continuing to support SANTACO as the body that represents the taxi industry. I've got plans to write a book.
Thank you.
But I would rather want to take a rest now. And maybe later on, check how is it and begin to write a book. You cannot close the chapter of SANTACO because SANTACO is an ongoing vehicle of the taxi industry, and it's very important that the generations to come within the taxi industry continue to learn the history of SANTACO.
I think every person who's going now to listen to this, we can't wait to have a handbook, and we keep on reading and getting more information about who the former SANTACO president is. Former president, the future plans. Where do you want to see SANTACO in the next coming years?
As I've indicated that the present president of SANTACO is a very young man, and his executive, he has very focused leaders in his executive. For instance, the present Treasurer General of SANTACO was the then Secretary General of SANTACO, and I think he comes with a lot of knowledge, into the office. I've got a young man within SANTACO who I always would claim to have built this young man, but to have grown together with this young man. And this young man is called Taaibosch. I think Taaibosch is now something like 16 years within SANTACO, between 17 and 16 years with SANTACO. And I believe that through Taaibosch, who was then the member of the, he was a manager in the presidency of SANTACO. I think Taaibosch now, as I'm speaking to you, has since around November last year being appointed to a position of general manager. Taaibosch will be actually one of the sources that the new president can always tap into get assistance, because he is highly is highly qualified to have gained the experience through time. And there is also a gentleman called Bafana Magagula. This young man's name is Taaibosch, who is the one I say he carries a whole lot of knowledge about SANTACO, and he can always ensure that when the president needs future plans, that the president can have him. But we've got also a guy like Bafana Magagula, who is the strategic manager in SANTACO, chief strategic manager of SANTACO. Bafana Magagula has not only as chief strategic manager, but he has also a knowledge of operating taxis. So I think there is plenty of assistance where the president can continue to build SANTACO to become a stronger organization. The other one is I would want to see SANTACO, because we did that by establishing a growing itself out of South Africa and ensuring that it's part and parcel of SADC, and to an extent where SANTACO becomes one of the leading members in the continent of Africa. That's where I would want to see SANTACO moving to. And the other thing is, I would like to see the new president, because you see, the new president is not going to have a lot of work as far as uniting, as far as dealing with violence. He's going to deal mostly with the economic build-up of SANTACO. And I would want to see a situation where the new president will come up with building of own taxi ranks, that he comes up with taxi ranks that would look similar to your airport, similar to your Kempton Park station. You understand? Similar to those that he comes up with, and that we begin to change the mindset of the people that we are transporting. And one of the things of which I have at one stage spoken to the health department, the Ministry of Health department, through the minister at that time, Aaron Motsoaledi, is I would like to see every taxi rank, especially major taxi ranks, having clinics, whether it's mobile clinics or and when permanent structures of the taxi industry is built, we would like to see clinics being built at taxi ranks. We would like to see at least an operational office of the South African police at every taxi rank, so that because we are part of society, it's so that we can continue to serve society. So those are some of the things that I would want to see. And one other thing which I would want to see, and this I think we have started during my term of office, it's for the new president to take it further, is to strengthen the presence of women within the taxi industry. To strengthen the presence of women within the taxi industry. I think those are the things I would want to see happening within the taxi industry.
Former President, without omitting the burning issue of the subsidies in the taxi industry.
I think it might sound as if I've omitted it, but because it's ongoing subject which is on the table, and I must thank the present Minister of Transport, Phillip, for coming with these innovations. This subject of subsidy has been even workshopped at the Lekgotla that we had in 2020. We believe that it is a matter of time before the subsidy is introduced. But again, Siyazi is one of the tools that we would want to use in ensuring that it is, assisting us a lot with the, subsidization policies, because we must be honest. We know that subsidy is one-sided, and it is completely against the constitution of the country, because everybody must benefit from projects, equally benefit from projects that is put forward by government. And in this particular case, we have discovered that subsidies was for a particular mode of transport or for a particular society. And in this case, we have gone to an extent where the Minister and the Competitions Commission says everybody who's doing transportation must be subsidized. So we believe that we would need Siyazi and other companies as a source of information.
I think we almost covered everything, but I know wholeheartedly that we haven't covered everything. Because now the industry itself, it's big enough for us to sit here for the whole week. But from President, we as Siyazi, we want to wish you all the best out of the office, consultation, and anything that you're going to touch from now on. We wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. And I think lastly, I must just ask you guys to say that you're welcome to take some photos of this office. This is the office I'll be operating from, and that's where I will be serving my part when it is needed within the industry from. These offices were built during my time as president of SANTACO, knowing that I will be retiring very soon, so that I don't disturb anybody. I'm working from my own office. Thank you very much. Photos of the office, inside and outside.
You can start here.
Enoch, thank you very much
Thank you, Mr.
for the interview.